Welcome to the light, and we are back today on the Ash Trevino case, where I now have the new documents that were filed from yesterday's court appearance. Now, what's most shocking are the new, very strict bond conditions that are set forth on Ash Trevino. So let's look at the new documents and what she needs to abide by. And let me tell you, it's going to put a damper on her life. Well, first things first, they did in court test her to see if there was any drugs or alcohol in her system, and she passed. There was nothing there, so that was good. Good job on that. Then we have here the order of commitment in a criminal proceeding. So this was obviously states it's for the sheriff of Ellis County, Texas, that they are directed to receive and place the defendant, Ash Trevino, in this cause in the jail of Ellis County, Texas. And that is because her bond was being revoked in court. Now we're getting into the 3-page bond document that is new. So we have the new amount that was ordered, which is $25,000, and it was a regular bond. And we do have some of the regular bond conditions. Basics are that it covers things, right? You can't purchase, possess, or use controlled substances, alcohol, and/or firearms. You can't use any product containing THC, including products available for sale over the counter, and products obtained through medical prescription in this or any other state. Naturally, as well, you can be asked to submit to a drug test or portable breath tests at any time for a controlled substance or alcohol in your system. Again, this is an original bond. Okay, so now this is kind of the important new part of the bond conditions. It is further ordered, and you can see all these check marks and writing. This is the area where it gets more strict. So the first check mark says, the defendant shall enter into and participate in the pretrial supervision program of the Ellis County CSCD, pay the standard monthly fee, report as directed, and submit to random tests for controlled substances and/or alcohol at the defendant's expense. Now, the next check mark is that the defendant shall live at the residence of, the address on President's Way. So again, I don't know much as everyone else, but my understanding is people were saying in comments previously that she is living with her current boyfriend at a different address. So this would mean she can't. Is that my understanding? Because this President's Way address is different than where she was currently staying. Let me know in the comments if that's correct. So my Ash Trevino people, you can let me know there. The next part is, and this is what I was anticipating was going to happen yesterday. It says the defendant shall, at her expense and before release, install the GPS ankle monitor and scram unit, maintain the device in proper working order, not tamper with the device, submit to monitoring and device calibration, etc., etc. So what the scram unit is for the ankle monitor is a specific ankle monitor that detects if you are drinking alcohol at all. So yeah, we see why her bond was revoked, and that's why she's getting that specific bond condition on now. Now, in addition, you see this little kind of writing to the side over here that they put on that says that she cannot go to places that serve 51% or more alcohol. So essentially, that means she can't really go to many restaurants because they have alcohol or bars and that kind of stuff. That's really going to cut down on any of her extracurricular social activities. Now, this one, it's small, but she has a curfew now. It says defendant shall abide by a curfew starting at 8 p.m. and ending at 6 a.m. 8 p.m. That's a tough one. Like Ellis County, I saw people saying they don't mess around. They don't mess around. Okay, our next check mark is the defendant shall remain within the area comprised of Ellis County and all contiguous counties unless otherwise permitted to leave this area by the court or CSCD. So it's really keeping her close to home. The next part says that defendant shall surrender her passport to CSCD and not leave the state of Texas. So beyond the state, she's got to stay in the county now. So not leave the state, in the county, has to stay in her home with that curfew. Essentially, that feels almost like house arrest. And then on the last page, it just has, a check mark is, of course, attend all future court dates. And then obviously, if she fails to comply with one or more of the preceding bond conditions, that it can be revoked. Now, here's an interesting add-on that is put at the bottom of this page. It says, defendant shall not post any references to, details of, facts regarding, etc., of this cause. I'm wondering if that's just applying to this specific new bond conditions, that she can't talk about it online on social media, basically. I think they understand that she's a social media personality, I guess you could say. And they're trying to say, like, you can't do that. They're not messing around. They don't think it's funny. It's not a joke. And just so that we're a little bit clear of how long this could last, so her next court date is March 19th. That is the second announcement that they have. Then the next one scheduled is for April 2nd. That is the first pre-trial date. And June 1st is the final pre-trial date. So, who knows what comes after that, if there's going to be further trial dates or if there's pleas or anything. So as of right now, is this bond carrying out all the way through June is, she's kind of put herself on almost a type of house arrest from her shenanigans and her birthday celebrations. So I guess I hope it was worth it, because this is what happens. Like I said, do not mess around with your bond conditions or your parole, because it's not funny. I'm also glad to see a county actually abiding by some of these rules and holding people accountable for their actions, which is exactly what they're doing. They're not making an example out of her. They had conditions. She broke them. You now get to pay the price for that. So let me know what you think about all of this in the comments below. If you have not, please hit that plus sign and make sure that you are following me. It'd be greatly appreciated. Tap that heart button. Stay safe. Be kind to one another. And as always, I will see you all in the next one.
I'm not that innocent. You see, my problem is this. I'm dreaming of